Bortle here with another deck profile. Tell me your name, where did you place, and what was the tournament?
My name's Joey. I got top 4 at Cancun. I played Cash, but they banned Rise Heart, but the deck is probably still viable going forward, so I just decided to do a deck profile.
Awesome. Any shout outs you got?
To all the bozos, would have been nice to win 3 in a row. I tried because Pac won the first one, Jesse won last week, but this week, but it is what it is. You know, one of their local people won, so that's cool. Shout out to all the Salt Lake local bozos too, and the people that helped me with the deck. Enzo and Ryan, they helped me a lot. We kind of made the deck together. Their time is coming. They're gonna win eventually. I'm super happy for when that'll happen. G, who always gives me ideas and helps me out with the deck and just gives me his thoughts sometimes. And any of the people that I just bounced ideas off or tested with, like Pac, Jesse, Cam, and Walter for being insane. That guy's hilarious. And yeah, okay.
Awesome. Let's do the deck.
Okay, so for engine, this is all super standard. 3 of these. Sometimes you just want to draw this with any spell and you can play the game. Like the deck bricks a lot, and then I play Desires too, so sometimes it'll just come up that you want 3 of them. And then this is just all pretty standard. Yeah, just so you don't brick. Some people don't play this, but the deck honestly bricks a lot, so you probably need to play it. And then 3 planet, obviously, Birth. These are all 3 ofs, Terraforming, and then Big Bang. The only thing I should say about this is it won't matter anymore because they're banning a Rise Heart. But when you decide to play around Nib, depending on if you have like Lance or whatever, where you just normally go like, people literally just go like Rise Heart, banish Theosis, and then attach it for the follow-up. Big Bang pretty much does the same thing. Worst case, you can add it back. But it's nice because with Big Bang, sometimes against some decks like Unchained, if you see that you already Lance with the talents or whatever, you can still summon the Fenrir in the middle of the combo and it's still pretty good, like in the middle of their turn. And worst case, you can just like, the follow-up is actually debatably better sometimes because your Big Bang can just summon Unicorn. Whereas if you didn't have Birth access beforehand, so you can just go like summon Unicorn off this and then just grab Theosis or Scareclaw, that's 8,000 with the Rise Heart, so, or it's 81, so yeah. Yeah, so that's non-engine, that's engine I should say. And then non-engine, so a lot of people play Unchained and some of the other decks, so pretty much against every deck outside of the Mirror for Shifter or Flu, like this is probably the best, these are probably the best cards you could play. Typically you probably have to draw at least 2 of them against Unchained, but you know, if they're really bad or if you draw just this one, sometimes they have to commit heavy into just summoning the Mocking Axe, so yeah, those are good. And then, that should have been with the engine, my bad. Scareclaw, obviously. And then Freelance. Yeah, so actually this card against, anytime you draw just this against anything that's not Unchained, it could just be game by itself with your Ice Heart. But if you draw this and you have Prosperity for Goliath too, like they're only out pretty much is if they summon 4 more monsters and go into the Underworld Goddess. But yeah, that doesn't matter. They're banning Rise Heart anyways. And then this is just 3 of a card that my friend asked me not to talk about. So sorry guys. Extra deck. These are the Prosperity targets. This was Dweller. This doesn't really come up anyways either. But Dweller isn't really good in this deck because it's kind of a hefty investment, even with 3 Rise Hearts, 3 baby Rise Hearts. So like if you want to play like Book of Moon or something like that, Dweller could be a little better, but it kind of messes with your engine too, so like I honestly just don't think it's needed. So I just played this as like another material to attach. Doesn't really come up that much. Baron, Donner, these are all just super standard. It's getting banned. Standard. This is all standard. And then I played this Odd Eyes package that G put me on for Forever Go at Nationals. So pretty much what it does is it turns any 2 level 7s, like it turns Fenrir into 10,000 damage by itself. So I can show the combo at the very end, but yeah.
Yeah, that combo is crazy. That's what I used at a tournament, so
yeah,
it's really good.
And then tokens, my 3v3 team, Henry. And then Droll is for like Vanadium, Dragon Link, Flu. Like I just thought this card like covers bases pretty well. And if you draw a card like that with this deck, you would usually, if you draw like Shifter or this with your engine, usually the better play is just to go like Fenrir or Unicorn, and you just hold these or Shifter, and then they have to play through that board. You have the follow up, and you don't really play into talents or anything like that. And then Book of Eclipse, this is good against Pearly. Like my main deck is really bad for the mirror match, so like I had to play something like this. And then honestly, going first against a lot of decks, this card can just be like solid. And then Spell and Trap removal. And then I didn't play talents in the main deck, so I sided it. Honestly, this is only really for the mirror. I really don't like this that much against Unchained, because if they have just the monster and you talents try and take the DDD and they have Shavara, you take Shavara and it locks you into Fiends. So that's actually pretty terrible. So, and then, so I was either debating this or Barrier, but I kind of realized with this deck, when you draw, when you're going first, the most decks, like Pearly or Unchained or whatever, will kind of turn into like a Zeus deck. They're just trying to Zeus you going second. So I actually take out Shifter for more like defense or something that could be good. So that would be the anti-spell. And then I can show you the Odd Eyes combo real quick.
So no Book of Moon?
Yeah, so no Book of Moon. It's just really not that good against Unchained. Casually isn't that popular anymore anyways. I think Pearly is not a very good deck. So I kind of just cut it for like the non-engine that I thought would be a little better, like Shifter, Nibiru, and Ash.
Okay.
Okay, so the combo is, it's actually mega easy to pull off. All you need is 2 level 7s and not to be locked into Theosis or Special Summon the Rise Heart. So you just go Special Fenrir. It actually makes Fenrir way better too. So Special Fenrir, search this. Make sure you normal summon it. If you special summon it, you can't summon Gravity Controller because it locks you in, you're locked in XYZs. And so you just get, so like, even if you just have like Birth, Fenrir, it comes up a lot. Birth, Fenrir, any, like I said, any 2 level 7s where you're not locked in Theosis or special summoning this. So special, normal, then you make the, so you have to summon it up here in the extra monster zone because you summon Gravity Controller. And then when he goes to the graveyard, his effect will activate to summon this Odd Eyes guy. And then you can put him on top, and he's 3,000 attack, and he can attack 3 times. So if they have an extra, and the Gravity Controller also has an effect too, where if they have an extra monster zone, you can just bounce them both. So like, it came up once where they had an access code that was 53, and you can just like bounce it, it'll go back, it'll send both cards to the extra deck, it says start at the damage step so you don't take damage, and then he can attack 3 times. And then he's also just nice too, because he's also a generic level rank 7, so if you're doing like the Infinitrack play where you need to do the 8,000 damage with the Baby Rise and the Monster in Defense, this can still do it. And then Unicorn or like Fenrir or paired with Scareclaw will just be game still because it's like 3,000 plus the 5,000 or 51 too.
Also, it's a format Zeus, right? If they...
Yeah. So it would just be a 3-mat Zeus if they somehow.
3-mat, yeah.
Yeah, if they somehow like maybe if they imperm this in the battle phase, like you can still summon Zeus, which is still pretty good. And then Borosky talked about how I think maybe people could play this deck going forward. It's kind of hard to say how to build the deck before the format becomes defined, because probably the way you play a deck, it's more like a stun deck. So like depending on what floodgates you think could be good in the format or what hand traps you think could be good. So like if people play Unchained, Roll obviously isn't good, but like if you're gonna play this deck, you probably for sure have to play like Ash, Shifter, Nibiru. Those are like decent against everything. And yeah, it just depends if you want to play like floods or whatever floods you want to play, or if you want to play hand traps, like you said. It just depends on what people decide to do.
Okay, what were your matchups? If you can remember.
So I played against like 5 Unchained decks. I played against a Dryton deck, and then in Top Cut in the last round, I played like 4 Cashmeres. I lost every game 1 because my deck doesn't play any books, and like Nibiru, Shifter, and Ash are not that good in the mirror either. I beat Enzo in top 8, and then I lost to Rescue Ace in top 4, and then...
Which was Max, right?
Yeah, that was Max. I was hoping he would win, because it's my boy. Congrats on his engagement this weekend, too. But yeah.
All right, any closing statements?
Shout out to Jordy for doing deck profile, and Portal for asking and posting it, and the Bozos.
Perfect.